following is a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 2. Our one and only stream game of the day. It is Cyclone. An interesting matchup, to say the least. On one side, fortunately, had a little bit of a longer wait since early out in Archery April. Had a couple of good wins to start a season in February, but is looking to try and pick himself up and keep the train moving. Look to get win number 3 on the year. Meanwhile, on the other side, another one of those rookies that has shown out in their debut, Jordy, taking down Aiden Smith in 6 in a 15-2 upset. Looks to make it another upset and make their first region semifinal, their first attempt in 2. Welcome to Cyclone, our one and only region. Fortunately, this is now our only game of the day, as Ren Maswa, unfortunately, Maswa not feeling well. Wish him all the best. Hopefully get a fresh time on that one as soon as we can. They will play in our region. Got this Cyclone game on the way. Take a look at the bracket. Winner gets Ami after he beat James in 5 just a few days ago. He beat Kane to get to that round. Obviously, we all know how he beat Sky with that long series in 7. Unfortunately, we're supposed to play between Evan and Breath last week, but Evan and Breath did not show up, and we have not heard from them. Got the free pass to the round of 32, looking to try and get a third true win on this. Take on Jordy, who just knocked out Aiden, who has looked damn solid so far this season, too, at 4 wins. So we welcome you to the table. Joining me today is going to be Yoshi. He's also going to be reffing. So Yoshi, start with you here. Evan, he broke out onto this. Was pretty highly rated for a debutant in T1. Had a couple good wins. Then fell early in round 1 of Archery April, and now he looks to try, and he got a little bit of an extra break with the DQ, but so now he sits here in round 2 and he has an opportunity to get a third win here today. And on the other side, Jordy obviously coming out swinging, took down Aiden in 6, big win for him in terms of how good he's done this season. Aiden has. So thoughts on this one and what the keys are for both of these guys today?
Yeah, both players came from this season, both relatively new. Obviously, Jordy definitely a rookie here who looks to make a name for themselves. Maybe, I don't think anyone anticipated them beating Aiden Smith. So this is really this could be a battle of like an unknown for Evan here. I feel like we still don't really know what they have in store in terms of how they play. Because you can get the win on a really good player, but I think to really solidify yourself, you have to get at least like at least 2 or 3. We'll see if Jordy could get the win here, but I think we see Evan's record. It doesn't seem the best. We have to keep in mind the person he ended up losing to in the last tournament was the one who actually won the whole tournament. So there's really, Evan can't be too upset despite being only 2-2. Obviously, he's still got a long way to go to make it to the LCQ, and it's just been quite an unfortunate start for him. But I think if he gets this win, that'll give him momentum for sure. Um, especially knowing that Jordy was going to have momentum after beating Aiden. So it's an interesting match because we have two players who we haven't seen a lot of, at least in recent times. So it's hard to really have expectations. I just think it's going to be a match where both players are looking to prove themselves.
No doubt about it. Evan, I'll start with you on this one. Obviously, a little bit of a longer layoff than you were expecting. We're expecting to have a game played about a week ago Sunday, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So, putting that out of your mind, how do you move forward now against a rookie in Jordy who has beaten an established name early in this D2 season in Aiden and kind of knocking the rust off and everything from the extended longer layoff, and obviously, after the tough loss to Jay Money, but obviously won the whole tournament. Can't hold your head too hello about that. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Jordy, you, thoughts on going up against Evan? Obviously, you had a big win to start your career in this league, and now you're getting your first stream game here today. What did you what were your takeaways from your win against Aiden, and how do you take that and apply it to keep being successful here in round 2 against Evan? I'll both type, and again, the winner. Take a look once again at the bracket. It is going to be Ami for the winner, the 3 seed in this region. So they will be starting on the road. Whoever wins this being the 7v15 game, and then what you can't see on the graphic is on the top seed in the region, Geo. Geo still controls the region at this point. We'll get either Myhel or Tanya. They're playing late tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, non-stream this region. Those will be the last 2 games in round 2 here. Evan saying, I'm certainly cautious, won't be sure on how Jordy will play until the game starts. Yeah, that's about all you can do. Yeah, we only have a few games left in this round. One tomorrow night, and then we have a stream doubleheader tomorrow. We will be in the barometer region for San and Marcus at 4, at 7 on and this is on Thursday. At 7 we will have Jamie.
Yeah, the day after tomorrow.
Day after, day after tomorrow. Again, that Myhel Tanya game tomorrow in this region, and then of course we will hopefully find a way to get Red Mazawat played in the drought region here before the next round starts, which we're expecting to be after the Memorial weekend. And Jordy saying, what I took from my win in the debut game is that no matter if you are newer or a longer player, you can always win. Here with only one goal this tournament, and that's to win it. Wow. For that, you have to be able to beat anyone, and that's a great mentality to have, Yoshi, coming in. Like, you're kind of on house money as a rookie. I mean, Jordy's a 15 seed, beat an established player in Aiden, who in his D1 season last year, despite being relegated, gave Ashley a challenge. We all know how good she can play. So it definitely shows that Jordy is not one to look past if you're Evan.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jordy has that idea of like, well, I got past a pretty strong player now. I mean, I'm just gonna go as far as I can. So we'll see if they get this win. It could definitely there's really no limits. There'd be no limits to how far they could go. So we'll see.
Definitely so. Doubt about it. All right. Well, I think the time for talking is over. I think it's time to get some cards dealt on the table. So, Evan, you are the higher seed. You get the first call of the game. How many cards will it be? We're going to go with the OG 7. Here we go.
All right, 7 cards.
I hope this is a better stream game than last night. Free choice. Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, maybe the bot knows what happened and was like, all right, we got to start off with something.
Yes.
Something very interesting here.
Yeah. Yeah, please, bot, give me a more fun streamed game than last night. That was tragic. And like I try and find silver lining, but that game was silly. Anyway, still fun to do regardless.
Yeah, look, you're at 7 cards. There's a possibility of luck coming into play,
Definitely
but
so.
when you get the free choice, there's a lot that comes with that decision. Because, oh well, okay, it's gonna work so
Wow,
far.
good choice from Evan. I mean, could have gone anywhere. He wants red. Jordy doesn't.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Like, there's a lot that comes into that move. Like, you either anticipate, okay, if I'm gonna play a color, maybe I expect the other player to also play. Or maybe I start with the color I don't have a lot of, and then hope that the other player goes for the switch. Here we're seeing, I mean, yeah, Evan going for the red, and maybe, to most people's surprise, Jordy's not gonna be able to play here. I mean, 7 cards. There's not that many, so it's. I guess at the end of the day, sometimes it's just something that happens. But now, what is Evan gonna do with that information? Is the. Oh my
Oh,
God.
hey, that's a over and
Okay.
half. Forward cards down to 2.
Yep, and that you give Evan that 1 inch to just go for that run. I mean, he's gonna take it. We'll see if he needs blue to get the finish or maybe the check. He does get the check.
Signs the check with the half off special. Down to the blue 3. What does Jordy do here? Nothing. And Jordy is
Oh
really
my
just
goodness.
2 color, and
Well,
Evan doesn't
okay.
have it either. So
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say Evan. If that was Evan's finish, that would have been. Oh my
oh
God, that's
my
insane.
goodness,
That's a top deck right there.
that's crazy. And there's that luck you talked about, right?
Yeah, top decks are more in your favor. Could likely be more in your favor. Now we're on a new color. Jordy might have some ammo, so it's not. You can't really say that this is definitely Jordy's. Definitely Evan's game here. I was gonna say before, assuming that he needed blue to finish there. That would have also been a 2 color from Evan, and him having that +4, given that free choice, it actually helped him a lot. But unfortunately, he couldn't get that Plan A finish. So we'll see if green is what he needs.
Got Marcus rooting on Jordy in the chat here.
Okay, yeah, Jordy. I mean, maybe they got more options than maybe the last couple of turns. We'll see if they're gonna be able to get a run. I could see it, and
Possible. Really typing something here, and yep, there it is.
Oh
No,
my.
there's a +4
Okay.
coming, but that wasn't quite correct on the typing.
Misspacing there, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna be able to get this
yeah, it'd be the
going.
space between the 4 and the Y, and you should have it.
Yeah, I mean, unless Evan goes for a crazy play, but I don't know, it's game 1. Okay, here we go. Yeah,
And
there's
then
the
you
+4.
just say what color you want. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Yeah, we've seen some people constantly go for the Uno PW +4,
Yeah.
and then like it's just, but
Yeah, then
you
people don't
they
realize
get
they
it.
just slay it over and over and over. Yeah. But we're gonna close on the yellow 9, so now we're at an even playing field. But Evan can take the possession arrow with a play here.
So entering the last color. So and you got to think Jordy's gonna want yellow and green, and maybe yellow could be all Jordy needs left at this point. Um. Okay, never mind. Okay, was purely a defensive move, and is gonna have to hope that this stalls Evan out at some point, because right now Evan hasn't really been drawing very much. Oh
Oh,
my
he
goodness.
keeps having the right numbers in his favor. Goodness.
Yeah, I mean, does Jordy have blue? No, Jordy is on 2 colors, or maybe even 1. I don't know anymore.
Ditto. Goodness.
And that's gonna make things very difficult for Jordy to play, yeah. Can Evan get the check again? Oh my goodness, and the
What?
fours are
What?
coming in clutch.
Oh
And
my
Jordy
god,
actually
they're
got
kidding
wild.
me. That's
Um,
crazy.
just the perfect timing for Jordy to get that. So what color will Jordy go to though? There's no guarantees.
Gonna go
But okay, we
green.
go to way. I That's an interesting play.
Oh
Oh
no,
no!
man, wrong color. Evan goes up 1-0.
Wow. I mean, the safe option would have been to go to back to blue, but I think Jordy maybe had some greens that they wanted to play, but unfortunately, it's just the wrong color.
Yeah, Jordy, what was the thought process behind going green there? Considering, I mean, we hadn't seen it in a good minute, and I think he was
Okay.
might have been looking for it.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
Jordy just
full
had
green.
all
Okay.
greens left.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe consider a stall play. I think would be the only thing you could say at that point. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I think like was it all green from the start, or was that just what it was at that point? I guess it wasn't at the start because you were playing a bunch of other colors, but yeah, it
I
just
mean,
seemed like he had. It just seemed like he had you stuck on two color there, where you kind of is that had some others. Yeah. Okay.
okay. I guess mostly green.
Yeah, Evan, I think that was mostly you're kind of in control of those number switches, had all those fours down the stretch there. I mean, even despite Jordy having a +4, I feel it definitely seemed like you were able to control the switches there. Thoughts on how you take that moving forward?
I see what Evan did there with the and breath, like defeating getting the DQ win on breath.
And breathe and breath.
Yeah, yeah. I know, but
Right.
um,
Hmm.
that was maybe the +4 really helped Evan there because I feel like getting that many fours that definitely was not planned. He definitely just
Oh
ended
my
up getting
God, that's crazy.
lucky.
That +4
Yeah, I
gave
was
him
gonna
all
say.
fours. That's absurd.
I was gonna
That
say
is
there's no
absurd.
that just seemed like wow. Like those the odds of that are pretty low, but it
Yeah.
happens. And
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Well, Evan takes it in about 5.5 minutes for game one, and now he can't pick 7 for game two. What'll it be?
yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like you don't have to get ammo on the you don't need ammo. Like if you get like the right
Yeah.
cards, the
Yep.
right numbers.
7-11.
Ooh,
There you go.
yeah, I see it. I see it.
There you go.
Like that thing with the getting ammo, it's like it's not about if it's ammo or not, or if it's like if it's just cards that you need to win. So, and that's what Evan had got with all those fours.
Red reversed to start, so another power card start after the free choice game one, and once again we're in red. This time Jordy can run.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Jordy gonna start. Gonna try something here. Jordy couldn't do much, but has to be a bit more careful about the color switching now, knowing that you could go aggressive, thinking I know I have green to finish. I'm gonna take the risk, and it didn't pay off. Maybe try to be more laid back, play more defense. But Evan is gonna keep on the aggression with these switches.
Triple play from Evan into blue. Double skip into the 7, and Jordy
Okay,
making
wait a
an
minute.
undercut. That is big there on the 7.
Yeah, I mean that's a third 7 already. So I can understand the idea from Jordy thinking, okay, he's gonna run out of sevens. Maybe he doesn't want the color to switch, so I'm gonna try and switch it out of
Yeah,
blue.
exactly.
But
And
Evan seems to be comfortable on this yellow.
couple up to the 3.
Another yellow, okay.
Doubles it up to the 6.
Keeps running it down. And Evan
Blue
finds
again.
the number of efficiency.
That has been the name of the game for both, it seems.
Oh my goodness! And see, that's the thing. So Jordy was actually truthful there. They switched it
Yeah.
to out of blue because they didn't have any.
Yeah, it exposed it a little bit there. And now Evan's in the driver's seat, but Jordy finds a
Okay.
blue off the deck.
Yeah, I mean, now we know that number efficiency is a big thing. Oh, but it doesn't matter. The green
Oh,
wild.
green. We haven't seen it
What can
yet, so
Jordy do?
that is Pandora's right there.
All
So
right, does Jordy have anything here?
yeah, the floodgates may open here a little bit. If I were Jordy, I would probably, if I had something, yeah, that
Oh, it is a
I
plus
would do
2.
something like that at that point. That's a good move.
Yeah, it keeps the game alive. Evan now probably gonna get a green, gonna be able to play a green, but it's a matter of what he's gonna play. He's gonna play a yeah. That might have been the finish.
Cancels it out. Yeah, may have been the finish. That so good move from Jordy, but
Another
what did
7.
Evan get off that +2? Not green,
Not
evidently. So another 7 as well from Jordy.
yeah. It doesn't seem like he got what he wanted, but Jordy is gonna be a
Smartly
stall.
going for
So
that 7. That was smart.
yeah, I was gonna say, like I said, with all those 7s played, trying to make sure that he can't switch. Both now at 4, with the 4 being played. Can Evan get the switch? That would be something. And we've seen Evan do well on these 4s, and he gets
Cross.
it again.
Double
Oh,
cross. Oh boy.
wow.
So again, Jordy undercutting on the 4s,
Always
and
a
there's
rainbow
Skittles.
4.
Break him out.
Evan's been so good on this, just the number 4 specifically. I don't understand. Jordy can run with the red, but can Evan keep it on red to get to Uno?
It's dose. What will break the camel's back in this one?
Oh, yes, he does.
Signs the check to the ground floor. Jordy.
Double Uno? No.
Nothing. Evan for the
This is
win
the
and
Evan.
2-0. He's got it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy. So Jordy playing into the switches with the 4 actually ended up being the what caused him to lose that game.
Jordy, what were your last 2 there when Evan was at Uno at that with the 1? What did you need? What did you need to get to? Oh, he needed the yellow. Yep.
Yeah, either no matter what Evan played there was not much he could do. So yeah, that was actually crazy. So what we saw there, Jordy go trying to get into yellow to then get the finish to get the finish, but Evan gets into red because he needs that to finish. So both just getting into those last colors, but Evan getting the last laugh though.
Evan getting the last laugh. Evan, those Skittles, the Skittle 4's really working for you there. And good on you because it definitely seemed like that green was hurting you, but Jordy needed the yellow and just had the 4 in the right place there. And thoughts on having that 2-0 lead going to the road?
Yeah, it's an interesting game. We see uh I mean, I think so far there hasn't been too much ammo, and Evan not having a +4 yet. But then again,
Yeah.
Jordy's has had one of everything so
Yeah,
far.
one of everything. Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it's a little old school. Thank goodness.
true.
No doubt about it. Yeah. Could have easily had the rug pulled out from under you, but there you go. All right, so now it's Jordy's first call, anywhere from 5 to 15. How many cards will it be? And we're gonna go
Oh
no
my
send.
god.
5-card sprint. Here we
All
go.
right. Well, definitely taking the risk here, but if it does pay off, this could definitely be this. This could definitely be a good start to the momentum that Jordy's looking for.
Yeah. Again, we talked about in the 7 cards, right? Luck can play a big factor, but it ultimately depends on what you get dealt at 5. It can either be 5 seconds or 5 minutes. Plus, see what happens. Jordy
Yeah.
can
So we're
play the
starting with the
green.
green.
They both
Both
can
have the
play,
green
and every card matters in a 5er.
for sure. Okay, Jordy does run out, which is what you'd expect for a 5 card start. Like you play one and
Jordy
then you run
draws,
out.
so.
And they both,
Oh,
yeah, okay.
wow.
So this is kind of the traditional way your 5 card start usually goes. Um, we see them play one and then kind of just not be able to play after that. But maybe the top decks could be something crazy here. Jordy might have something, and it's a yellow 6. Can Evan play on that with that, or like it's also possible that he just draws again with the way that these 5 card starts go. But no, he actually does have a yellow. Okay, so Jordy gonna continue now. What does Evan have left? Looking to make this 3-0 and, put Jordy in a pretty rough position.
Ooh.
Okay. Very interesting play.
I think
Goes
it's
for the switch.
looks like he's leaving some bait down there for Jordy. Definitely seems that
Truly.
way.
Yeah, this is a unique play that maybe Jordy hasn't seen before. He's got to think of what Evan's trying to do with this.
I think Evan wants a switch here, trying to find another way through, but they're even. And this could, and with it
Yeah.
at 3, you never know if this could be the key that Jordy needs to win it. It's very possible, and I mean it's red.
Oh my God, is that it?
Can't guarantee nothing. Nope.
Okay.
It's like I wasn't gonna say it.
Interesting.
If this was a D1 game, I'd say yeah, that's it. But nope.
I was just thinking like what like you had to think about maybe, but because that would have been such an unlucky way to
Yeah.
lose that game. But yeah,
Yeah.
Jordy just opting to give Evan a bunch of cards, actually paying off because Evan wasn't able to stack the +2, and now they're just drawing back.
And Jordy's still right there.
Yeah, and one top deck could be the key. But Evan looking to play some patience maybe. Either they didn't get much off of that, or they're trying to save some ammo now that they got more cards to work with.
Drawing back and forth.
Yeah, Jordy still pretty low. Definitely could go on a run. Just right before our eyes. But okay, we see just a skip. This could be an opportunity for Evan to throw down a skip and switch the color, but he knows that could be a bait.
Jordy trying to find a
Yeah.
way to get back in the series after getting swept out of the road stand, and maybe the stall tactic might be the way to go. He's still ahead by 6, and nothing much to say about it. And even switching to a skip, it's harder to switch out. But here comes Evan with a wild.
Okay. Now that's something there. Of all moves to make, you go for that. Use up a while to get out of draw city. That's a bold move.
It is a bold move, especially backed by 5 or 6
Yeah.
now. And Jordy has cards to run. So I think you're Evan. You got to think, Yoshi. You got to think you got to make a move more than just a wild if you have it in your pocket. Because Jordy could run this down to the end because you really haven't seen yellow to a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah. He also might. Yeah, Evan might also be banking on Jordy not being weak on yellow because I mean clearly Evan wants this yellow, but if Jordy gets the switch or needs yellow to potentially get a run, this move could backfire, and we might see it here with the.
Ooh,
Oh my God, we're getting down to 2 with that.
that's a huge move from Jordy. Evan's still behind, and now we got to see what happens in the blue here. And if you got to bail, okay, red, that might.
So this is a risk, but I understand the play.
Risk.
Jordy does get the blue
Back
5
to
with
blue.
Yeah, that's a good move. Oh my God, he gets back to red though. And Jordy tries something there.
Yeah,
And
well, he got away with it.
you know what? We're just not even gonna say what happened there. All right. Well, Evan just very
Nothing happened. By the way, if you put that at the end of the message, you play the card in, it'll work.
just a brave play from.
Just saying.
I mean, that was very brave of Evan, though. Being confident, maybe he was just so confident that he just doesn't have red. Just gonna keep switching to red until you draw, and then there you go.
Yeah. But plus, I mean, the call out could give Jordy the options he needs to win at that close. You never know. So it could have been.
It's funny, I've had my. Oh my God, we're gonna.
Well, that's some confidence.
I was gonna say, there are very cases. It's not often, but it happens sometimes where a call out actually backfires on you.
Yes. That's why I
I
think
think
the self call
yeah.
out is, somewhat of a thing with some players. Like if they're down to Uno but they don't have a way through, then a self
Hmm.
call out or baiting a call out, I did that against Clint. Like I baited a call out to try and get options because I was stuck with a reverse of the wrong color in one of the games. So I went down and baited
Yeah.
a call out, and I didn't give any indication that that was a good or a bad thing, but I got options to give me a path to a victory.
So okay, what we saw +4 into yellow, instantly switching out of it, but we see just Evan still being able to run on this blue. Seems to be that Jordy's not getting the switches that he's looking for to stall Evan, and now he's down to 2, potentially in a winning position here.
Oh
Oh,
my
okay, yeah.
goodness. And
That's why he
that's and
wanted
that's how you do
yellow.
it, by the way. Jordy, take note of that.
So
That'll be helpful for you.
that's the second time Evan has used a WoW to get into yellow. Well, if we count +4, so that's his third time.
Yeah.
Can it finally pay off? Yes.
Yes, there you go. Evans up 3-0 with a huge wild save.
Yeah, I
And
mean that
ran it down.
game. Yeah, it looks like that game Evan got some solid cards there, and I think Evan did really well to win the first two. I think now he's
Yeah.
starting to get some more ammo.
Yeah, so getting a little more ammo. Um Yeah, Evan, thoughts on that? Again, those numbers were really coming your way the right way, and and you had that wild save to lock it up. But how do you keep that composure? You're a win away from moving on and getting win number 3, but still got to get one more win. And we just saw Emmy get reverse swept yesterday, for example. Saw 3-1 lead for Cage go away. So how do you keep your composure and keep your foot on the gas to get a 4th win here in Game 4? There's the last kid. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think.
I mean, not all of them have been the person up 3-0 winning.
That is true. They've just been 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jordy, is there anything you could point to that you could possibly adjust or do differently to try and turn the momentum back in your favor? Because it's just been I think partly it's been a tough break for you with those numbers, but I mean you've had some ammo in your corner as well. Like, is there anything you could point to that you could maybe improve on or adjust to try and get a game at the very least, or possibly mount a comeback from down 3-0?
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to really, it's hard to see what Jordy's been doing wrong. I mean,
I can.
obviously, game one, just an unfortunate color switch that Evan also needed to win.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, sometimes that's a thing with power play. Like, it doesn't seem like a smart move when you're down 2-0, but sometimes it's the key to get the momentum back in your favor. Now
right.
you're down 3-0 and you do have the power play, but Evan is on check and he only need all he need, he doesn't need too much to really get that last win knowing he has power play as well. So,
Uh,
now it's about preventing Evan from winning rather than finding a way for you to win.
Right, right.
Oh boy.
Trying to manifest. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. Jordy still open board for game 4. How many cards will it?
Yeah. We go
Yeah,
will
and
we
that
go
the
from
longest
the
game of the
bottom to the
series.
top?
He's gonna go to a
Yeah.
series. Yeah, and again, the longest game of the series was a no send. So we'll see how a 15 goes.
I was gonna say that this is the type of move that Jordy would do to go from the bottom to the top, and we see it here. So, I mean, this is Jordy's last chance. I mean, to
Right.
really get a game, to really get something going, because I mean, he's tried we went to the mid pack, it didn't work. Jordy went low, it didn't work. Now all there's left is to go high. So we'll see what happens now with that. All right, and now with the 15 cards, we're gonna expect a lot of plays until. Okay, yeah, I mean, Jordy just doesn't, yeah, always does that.
That's the strategy, but we'll see how it pans out for him.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it red for a little bit, but Evan's gonna just draw now, and that is interesting. I think he only played one card before that. Yeah, so it's a rough start for Evan, but again, he's got some room. He's got some wiggle room, so maybe he's just trying to play patient, maybe try different strat, experimenting potentially. But um, okay, yeah, I was waiting for the switch and gets the switch into green. Can Evan play on this? Most likely. Okay, I'll be right back. Actually, 1 second.
That's fine. Double play from Evan, skip 7. Jordy ditto the 7. Again, take a look at the bracket to your left side of your screen. We'll get Ami. Next round, they'll start on the road. Evan with another double play. Jordy going with the 6. Of course, they will start on the road against the 3 seed, and then, of course, the 1 seed has all against region. Back to the action, though. They're both running it back and forth in green. Yeah, Jordy ahead by a couple, despite the double plays from Evan here to chip away. See if he can chip away any more down the stretch, as they are both running clean down the line. Jordy typing a little extra longer, may have something cooking here. Be a switch combo. 8, gonna go with the +4. So Evan's gonna be sent back to 14. We are going blue. And just close off with the 2. So big play there from Jordy to move down to 6, and that might be separation he needs to work his way down on the numbers. Or maybe we'll get in position to make a combo finish, but we'll see.
All right. I returned, and yeah, I'm back.
Big +4 from Jordy to move into blue, and now he's ahead by 8. After Evan chipped away with a couple double plays in the green, they were both running clean, but now Jordy wants the blue. We'll see what Evan does in response. He's going to wipe that out. And is ahead by the possession arrow with the +6 in the green.
This is a game where Jordy has been just keeps pushing Evan back to that like full send start, keeping him at like 14-15, and Evan's finally biting and like, I've had enough. And now it's even with 11-12. Oh my gift. Just the ammo keeps coming though.
+2 back, I think. Maybe had that from the get-go, and now Evan sent behind again just by a couple. Jordy trying to stay ahead and try and force a game 5.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a green heavy hand from at least one of these players. But as we went back to green after them playing for quite a bit.
They were both running clean, but I don't know how far Jordy can go with that green. Might have got. It's very possible that double and anything more he has, it probably came from the +6, because he forced his way out of green. He's gonna do it again. Has another +4 into the red, and now again Evan sent back beyond the send at 16.
Keeps sending Evan way back to the full, roughly where the full send was, and now.
No, that's the Pierce thing.
Yeah, it might be Marble Side's thing at this point.
Yeah, the Marble Side, yeah. That's so I've heard.
But yeah, an interesting
Pikachu's thing.
place. Yeah, it's a lot of people's things.
And here's Jordy building off of that, gonna offloader red skip and now goes back to blue where he wanted. That is a big play right there. But could be dangerous for Jordy if Evan has red to go to.
Yeah, if he has a 7, I
Yeah,
think this could easily be.
That's an easy ISO if Evan can take that opportunity.
The 7 is a good play though, because if we look at the history, we have half the 7s being played already, so it actually, see Evan dittoing that, not able to switch there.
At this point, we don't have Pandora's box open, so I would say there's a good chance that yellow is probably going to be part of the finish for one of these two.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Evan can't safely switch into yellow because we haven't seen yellow all game, and Jordy might need that.
Yeah, I think Jordy's trying to run it down as far as he can before going that direction, just in case Evan's probably got something maybe waiting in the wings if Jordy doesn't have ammo in yellow.
I mean, from the looks of it, Jordy definitely got some good cards, and using those +4s early could be the warning sign that maybe Evan should have taken. But then again, he might not have ran out of ammo on his end as well. Oh, okay.
Well, you have to say Uno PP.
Uno
PP.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
So now Jordy going to use the power play.
Try and force a game 5 potentially. From 5, it's possible.
That's what you would think what the move would be here is, but we'll see if it's something else. But it should be the finish here. Oh, yeah. That's Jack. And looking for the finish.
The wild and down to 2, though. So is this a double finish?
It's either Uno or it's the game, and you would think it's the game, but I mean it's a rookie. We can't say for certain yet.
Only the second power play. I don't know if they did their power play in the first against Aiden.
Oh.
Yep, you've been power played. Can't do that.
The power play prevents that from happening. So maybe it seems to be a good thing that Jordy used the okay.
Oh my,
wow.
Okay, that's stacked. That's stacked.
I don't honestly. Did Jordy even need it?
Yeah, because the wild.
I guess, yeah, that wild, yeah, you
Regular
exhausted
wild
turn. That's understandable.
Yeah, but 4+4s for Jordy and still down 3-1. So it really shows what Evan's been able to do with those numbers in this series. And Jordy, I'll just ask, how does it feel to have the momentum swinging back your direction? Was that power play partly like trying to, try and get some momentum going your way? Because it seems like it's been a pretty tough go at it in this one up until this point. Obviously preventing the sweep as well. Never been swept. No sweeps.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've ever been swept. I think I've swept people. I don't think I've been swept. Yeah. Okay.
All or nothing, yeah.
All or nothing, yeah. Fair enough. All right, well. Jordy gets one. What's that?
I mean, I'm curious if Evan had anything. I mean, I assume
you had that triple off the power play, but it didn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, because Jordy had 3+4s in that game alone. I mean, there's not much you could do against that, I feel.
It's hard to go against that, but I mean, in fairness, yeah, 3+4s. That before that it was 1-1, so I guess gotta think about that deficit that I just mentioned. But all right then, Evan, you cannot pick 5 for game 3. How many cards will it be? Or for game 5? I'm sorry.
Game 5.
It's at game 3. That's what you like.
Yeah.
No 5 for game 5.
Yeah, obviously the thing to look forward to if you're Evan is Jordy had to use that power play to win, and now Jordy has lost the power play in these last 3 games, assuming it gets that far.
We're gonna send it again.
He's gonna run it back.
Hey, sure. With another power card.
I think in D1, running it back is honestly not the best. I feel like you're more likely to lose if you run it back. But I think in
Look
D2,
in round 1.
Yeah, but I think in D2, you could definitely get away with it more. Um, and it could really go either way. I think I remember when I went against Acosta, I believe I ran back my first card start, and I lost. So, you know, it's a thing where in some environments it's better to
Cross to
go for
blue.
things. Anyway, yeah, back to this game. Ooh, yeah, just a clean start here. I think another red reverse start actually. I don't think that's the first time we've seen that. But yeah, this blue switch, we're gonna see if Evan can hang with this, or maybe he wants to switch out of it, go for the crossover play.
My goodness.
Okay. I mean, well, we saw what Jordy did in Game 5, and Evan's gonna
Give him a taste of his own
try and
medicine.
yeah take his plan and use it in this one.
Goodness.
Oh my, yeah, Jordy at 19, one.
Oh
Oh
my
my.
god. That is
Okay,
huge.
let's see. That was a 7-bagger.
All caution to the wind, 7-bagger, but we're not done.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Jordy with 19, not a comeback territory, but I mean, 13 cards down is still it would in it's a comeback in this in like it should be called a comeback, but we count it as the amount of cards you get. So yep, and I'm not
Jesus.
surprised. I am not surprised by that. And okay.
And a reset. Jordy ahead by 3, back to the starting line.
So let's see. From that, we have used up 5+2s, and there's only 3 left. And okay, I
Oh
mean,
no.
honestly, not a good thing to do there. But you have 18 cards. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
the worst time to make that
Yeah.
mistake. But
Is what it is, right?
okay. Well, I guess Jordy does not care.
Forget about it.
Yeah,
There's that
there
blue
you go.
6.
And okay, I mean, sometimes maybe it is better to just not mess with the mistake because you know.
He's got his blue 6 too.
Oh, okay. I guess he had the other one, huh?
Oh my god.
Yeah. When you make a mistake like that, it's like, I mean, what's the point in? I mean, he's probably gonna get to blue it eventually anyway. Might as well just let him play it. And you know, sometimes when you try and take advantage of a mistake, it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get the win. You still have to play with that mistake in mind, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But Jordy not gonna let that happen. And we go into green, which both players are going to have. Yeah, I mean, after that crazy usage of 5+2s, they're just kind of going back to the normal plays here.
Now we're running clean. A lot of fireworks there, and now we gotta run it back. Down, down, down.
And I mean, we're seeing these interesting
Back to
switches,
blue.
though. Yeah, could definitely turn the tides on this game. See if Evan, what can Evan do on this blue? I mean, and he doesn't want the blue. It seems he goes into yellow at the 0. So definitely trying to keep it yellow. Does Jordy have the 0? We saw Jordy have it last time.
Quad play. Into yellow
Yeah.
now. On the 0 sugar. Jordy with a
Oh,
+4. Oh my god.
really wanted the blue. Trying to force Evan to draw.
The lack of control is crazy.
So far it hasn't come back to bite him, at least when they've been getting the ammo. And here's the red wild.
Because there's no
Here's where
control on
we're starting to
either
see
side.
these wilds. We're starting to see these wilds come out. Is Jordy going to try and clap back with one of their own?
Oh,
Oh my!
wait, what?
That was a mistake, wasn't it?
Oh, no.
That was a mistake, wasn't it? Okay.
No.
They definitely
That's
wanted to
what
go
we
to
call
blue.
that's what we in the game call a whoopsie.
They saw what Evan did and was like, yeah, I agree.
I agree. Me
Wild
too.
red.
Me too. Exactly.
Well, Evan's gonna be able to play on this red now.
Oh, he said no wilds. He had his wild 3 minutes ago. Look at that.
Yeah. Um,
Tragedy.
this could still work out for Jordy depending on what they have left in their hand. No, oh my God, they got the 2.
Good God Almighty.
This might actually work.
Will it? We'll see.
Does Evan have yellow?
Oh,
Oh,
uh-oh.
okay. Oh, wow. Maybe he wanted that.
Master
'Cause it did
plan,
it.
huh?
Okay, yeah, Jordy going into yellow keeps it. Evan able to run on this yellow, it seems. Oh, okay, he's going for a bit more switches now. I think as long as it doesn't go to blue, he doesn't really care. Oh, wow, what a move. Number efficiency, like I said, and on the 4. I mean, Evans has been so strong on that number with the number efficiency. Yeah, green seems to be a good color here. And then finally finding that color that Jordy is weak on. And here's a huge
Whoa.
play. Throws down the +4 and goes into yellow. Jordy. I think Jordy knows that they gotta throw anything out at this point. That's a fair move.
Wow. Yep. Another wild. Master plan, right?
Yeah. Does Evan draw? Or maybe this is what he wanted.
Maybe it was a fade.
Yeah, could be with 3 cards.
Went straight away from the blue to the red one. Oh, no.
Oh boy, this could
That,
be it. And
oh,
it
that
is.
is. It's going to be. Power
Is it
play
another wild?
for Evan. Another wild. The last
Yeah,
wild.
I don't know why. I
Maybe a
just feel like
+4.
or a
Oh,
plus
it's a
4. Yeah, that's
+4,
fair.
and there you go. There you have it. Evan moves on in 5 after some crazy ammo war a little bit there, but
Yeah, 2 plus 4 at the end for Evan. Actually, now that I see it.
there you
But
go.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I do think that a wild red actually was a pretty crucial error. Yeah, that definitely.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Jordy, what was the I know you say master plan, but where were you gonna go with that? I'm assuming you were probably gonna go blue, like you did with that wild with the accidental red. Yeah, yeah, that will haunt you. Yeah,
blue. Yeah, that makes sense. I
blue.
was
Yeah, it's okay.
assuming.
That's tough. That is tough. Evan, thoughts on this win? Obviously, you had a lot of the control in the first 3. And then these last 2, a little bit more competitive, and it came down to taking advantage of the errors, the rookie errors. But yeah, thoughts on winning this one as well. You have Ami up next in the semifinals of the region. Thoughts on seed?
Yeah.
Ami's been here since the start. Finally finding some success. Better player one. That's good respect there from Jordy. Yeah, but
Yeah, looks like
yeah.
yeah, Evan definitely needed this win. Um, They still need 2 wins to make the LCQ, but being able to get a clean victory over a rookie, there's definitely good signs there. You are going to face someone who's been experienced in this league, which won't be easy. But
Right.
I feel like this is still like a good showing that like you could be confident going into the next match, which could definitely help you.
30 now. No pressure.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Oh wait, did it? Hold on, let me see this again. Oh yeah, it ended. Yeah, the total time we got 33 minutes and 33 seconds.
We love that. Yeah, thanks, whatever. Yeah, but Evan, if you had any thoughts on playing Ami next round, otherwise, all I got for you. Congrats on. Yeah, but Yoshi, your thoughts on this matchup? This could be a good one, I think, between Evan and Ami.
So Jordy, I think you only get 1 win in your first tournament, but like the win that you got was very it's not anything
It's
to scoff at.
promising. It's
So
promising.
it gives you hope that you got potential. I mean, I think there's part of it where you just didn't have much cards, but there's also part of it where you just have to clean up your mistakes, and then maybe you could find ways to do better. And there's room for improvement, which I think is a good thing, because once you find that room to improve, you could go a lot farther. And we'll see if the next tournament will show that. But yeah, for Evan, definitely took advantage of the rookie mistakes, and I think that's what you need to do. Ami is honestly, he's been looking really good.
Yeah.
I thought James was going to put more of a fight, but the way that Ami did win against James was very. He's still like in his prime right now, and I feel like Evan's really going to have to play to the best visibility if he wants to take him out. And I think we're still in best of 7s in the round of 16, I believe.
Yeah. It's his best of 9 in the final, though.
Yeah. So it won't be easy, right? But I think then again, I feel like we see Evan and Ami, who are both playing pretty well actually, in this round. So it's going to be competitive. Evan just gotta, win the games that they can, and it'll probably go even, and then maybe figure out how to win that crucial last game. This seems like a match where it should go 7, so I'm anticipating that. And if it does, then I think Evan just has to figure out, okay, how am I going to win that last game? What do I need to do? And I think that'll be the key. But we'll see. It should be a good one.
Awesome. Yeah. 3v7. That's your bracket. Just three games on the schedule left. Of course, 4 left in the round. 1 tomorrow night at 9:00 Eastern time, as Myhel and Tanya will square off 4v12 in this very Cyclone Region. Then on Thursday afternoon, late afternoon, have St. Marcus 2v7 in the Baroque. And at 7 will be the Altimeter Region. J Money and Bob Ross. That will also be streamed. Me and Leah will be in the games. Looking forward to that, of course. And we have a new time on Red v Mazwa as soon as that out. That is going to do it for this one. Evan moves on in 5. Thanks to Yoshi for reffing and commentating. Thanks to Evan and Jordy for coming to play today. And thanks to everyone for joining us in VC and on YouTube. I have been Not Short on behalf of the MRE UNO team. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you join us tonight at 7 for the one and only game in Division 1 today between Brad and William Brock. But for now, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. This has been a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 2.